It's CCSD Today, your insider's guide to the Charleston County School District. This week, we get an inside look at the new Laing Middle School. Hear from the principal, Jay Whitehair. And take a sneak peek at the school's dedication ceremony. CCSD Today starts right now.
Hello everyone and welcome to CCSD Today. I'm your host, Everett German. Well, a lot of new schools being built in Charleston County, and one of the new schools we're at today, it's Laing Middle School over in Mount Pleasant. And coming up on today's show, we'll hear about all the great things going on at Laing. We'll be right back. You're watching CCSD Today.
I'm Jenna Dewan Tatum.
I'm Julia Ormond.
I'm Machen Amick.
And I'm Rachel Boston.
Every 2 minutes, a woman is diagnosed with breast cancer.
Breast cancer will claim over 39,000 lives this year, but that won't be me.
Or me.
I won't let that be me.
The end of breast cancer starts with me.
And you.
And you.
And you.
Go to mylifetime.com to get informed and involved.
Brought to you by Cruise Chevy. You've got a friend in the car business.
Welcome back everyone to CCSD Today. As you can see, we're still over at Laing Middle School, the brand new Laing here in Mount Pleasant, and we're pleased to be joined by the principal, Jay Whitehair, entering his third year as the leader of this school. Mr. Whitehair, first of all, congratulations on this new building. What a gorgeous facility you have here.
Thank you, Mr. German. We are very fortunate. This is truly been a partnership with the entire community and Charleston County School District and Laing Middle School. And we're just very fortunate and so excited for all of our students and teachers and faculty members.
Tell us, why a principal? All the things you could have done, you chose to be a principal, why?
Everett, first of all, I have a business background, business degree, but my family, I come from a family of educators. My mom was in administration, my dad was a teacher and coach. So throughout early part of my career, I wanted to stay away from education just because to do something different. But as time went on, the call for kids kept pulling at me, and I went back to school and started this process. And then over time, felt like administration was the path I wanted to follow to make a difference.
You know, I do a lot of these interviews, obviously, with principals. They all have their own uniqueness. The one thing that really stood out for you in Laing Middle School, tell me about principal chat sessions, because normally principals, for the most part, you don't want to kind of leave that door open, but tell us how that came about and the success of that program.
Well, the idea for principal chat sessions, we hold it the second Tuesday of each month here in our media center, and we try to have a different theme within our school each month, and allows us as a vehicle to communicate the different programs, ideas, or aspects of our school. So it's been very successful, and our parents have really appreciated what we're doing with the principal chat sessions.
You know, you look at the old Laing there off of 17. Now you're in this new facility, 1,100 students. I would have to think one of the bigger middle schools in Charleston County School District. Talk about the challenges of being the principal over a school that big.
Well, you're exactly right. We've come a long way. Laing, we're very fortunate to be in this beautiful facility, but at the same time, it does present challenges when you're talking about, we were at 775 students last year, and now we're 1,100. So we've increased. We have 26 new teachers, 2 new assistant principals, other new faculty members, along with 325 some odd kids. So it does present challenges, but those challenges also turn into opportunities because we're able to recruit people from a wide area in terms of our faculty. But we're coming along, and it's been great.
Now, as a principal, you're much like the head coach, the CEO, somewhat similar to a business. And in those instances, you're only as good as the people that work kind of under you. Talk about your staff, your teachers here that really make Laing what it is today.
You're exactly right. This school is only as good as the teachers that we have, and our teachers we have the best teachers in Charleston County, and I wouldn't trade them for any place in the state. What they have accomplished over the years, and then this year, has been remarkable. We have transformed ourselves into a STEM school. We're talking about one of the very few STEM schools in the state of South Carolina, including being one of the top 10 in the country. So our teachers are fabulous. I also have wonderful administrative staff and other support staff, so I'm very fortunate. The success of Laing is a reflection of them, not me.
All right, now let's get to know Mr. Whitehair a little bit. Everybody knows what you do as a principal, so we want to know you. You got parents watching, you got students watching, so we want to know, Mr. Whitehair, when you're not being a principal,
Yeah.
what are your hobbies?
A couple of things I like to do. I like to play golf at my old age. Basketball is I had to retire from playing basketball so much after a broken ankle and a few other bumps and bruises. But I like to play golf. I like to, I'm an avid sports fan, so I love college football and pro football. I went to school at Marshall University, so I'm a big Thundering Herd fan and a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. Other than that, some of the other hobbies I do is, I like to cook and spend time with the family.
All right, there you go. So Pittsburgh Steelers fan. Now, let's see, are we going to guess at your baseball team, Pirates?
Exactly right. Unfortunately, we came up again a little short in that one-game playoff, even after winning, 94 games this year. But, Pirates, it's nice to see over the last few years make that, that upward swing and over 20 years of struggle.
Where's Mr. Whitehair's favorite restaurant?
That's a tough question.
Of course, being here in Charleston, you have a lot of great places to choose from.
I like to see a variety of different, my wife and I, when we have the chance to go out on a date, we kind of hit a different restaurant each time. But, I live in the northern part of town, so I always hit Seaweed Restaurant. When all else fails, you can go up and get some nice seafood up at Seaweed Restaurant.
There you go. So for all you parents and students out there, if you need to get on Mr. Whitehair's good side, basically either Steelers, Penguins, or Pirates, and then buy him a gift card to the Seaweed Restaurant for him and his family. So Mr. Whitehair, we appreciate you taking some time and joining us here on the show. And again, congratulations on your beautiful building.
Great. Thank you.
All right, that's Mr. Whitehair joining us here on CCSD today as we take a look at Laing. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we'll have more here from Laing Middle School. You're watching CCSD today. We'll be right back.
Kiawah Cares represents a really unique way and an organized way for folks who live here on Kiawah to connect, partner, and help those who live in our neighborhood, which includes Johns and Wobbly Island.
And the idea was that many, many people who live on Kiawah very generously work as individuals in the community. But we felt as a community association, we needed to do more in a unified way to be good neighbors. And out of that came the idea of Kiawah Cares.
They brought volunteers, but most of all, they brought love. They showed love, and they said, we want to be a good neighbor, and they have been a good neighbor to me and to this community.
Kiawah Cares quickly jumped on board and was really excited about the idea of supporting the local farmers and supporting the Johns Island community as well.
We're excited about the partnership, and we are in constant communication, updating them on things that we are working on, areas where I continue to see improvement, I share with them. And so it's like we are in tune, working together, one common goal, and it's all beginning to come together.
What it means to me to be a part of Kiawah Cares is I'm able to do things I wouldn't normally have done on my own. I get the sense of community when I work with them.
We're trying to put good people in touch with organizations that could use their help.
The law firm of Young Clement Rivers has been serving the Charleston Lowcountry since 1968. All of the lawyers of Young Clement Rivers are proud to be partners with the Charleston County School District. We're convinced that the hard work of the school district employees and staff prepares our young people to face the challenges of the future. We look forward to continuing our partnership and in helping the school district to meet its standard of excellence.
Welcome back, everyone, as we continue here at Laing Middle School. You're watching CCSD Today, and it's now time to talk a little bit with the STEM coach here at Laing Middle School. It's Mel Goodwin. We heard in the last segment Principal Whitehair talk about being one of the only STEM schools, and so we're pleased to be joined by the coach. And well, Mel, first of all, for those who may not know, what does STEM stand for?
Okay. Well, everybody agrees that STEM stands for science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. From there, what that actually means, there's probably as many versions as there are people that use the word. For us, what it means is not so much studying science or math or any of the other subjects. It's a matter of using the tools that come out of those subjects to solve real-world problems.
And we know, obviously, not all kids learn the same way. I would imagine using this formula, it's probably going to have good success.
Well, we've found it to have tremendous success. And I think one of the reasons is that there are many different tools that come under the STEM category. And one of the challenges that every educator has is what they call differentiation, and that is sort of adapting the curriculum to the needs of the individual student. And what STEM does for us is it allows us to do that in a lot of different ways and still be able to deal with the number of students that we have in an individual classroom.
Now, I know one way of learning, obviously, is hands-on, and so anytime you can create an atmosphere where the students are actually doing it, I would imagine there's a lot of kids that want to get into that program.
Well, absolutely, and I think one of the things is that I suspect we all learn a lot better when we have our hands on the subject as opposed to just sort of talking about it or thinking about it. And the idea of combining the creating things, of creating objects, of making models, and of doing this in a way that connects to the curriculum makes a lot of these kind of abstract ideas a whole lot more memorable and meaningful.
Now, most teachers have a classroom. You have a lab, and we're actually right outside the Fab Lab, and we're going to go in a minute and take a look at the Fab Lab. But you have a very unique classroom. Talk about just all the great things that go on in that Fab Lab.
Well, you know, the whole point of having all of these tools and toys in there is to give our teachers and our students a way to create things. And what they create is only limited by their imagination. And so we've got about 1,200 imaginations working here, so we think that we're going to have some pretty exciting products coming out of the Fab Lab. One of our challenges is that when we've got 1,200 people that have to be served, there's no one room that's going to accommodate them all. So what we're doing now is everything is on wheels, and the idea is to take the Fab Lab to where it's needed. So we'll, on a given day, maybe wheeling digital cutters and soldering irons down to another area of classrooms. And that's really the exciting thing, that we have a lab, but it doesn't have to accommodate everyone. I mean, it just has to serve everyone.
All right, so there you have it. So here's the STEM coach here with us, Mr. Goodwin, today. And actually, we're going to take a break. And when we come back, we're going to take a look inside the Fab Lab, and we're going to have the students kind of give us a kind of a walkthrough of the lab where all the magic happens. So first of all, Mr. Goodwin, we want to thank you for joining us here on CCSD today. And we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to go inside the Fab Lab. You're watching CCSD Today.
Kids learn it at their own pace, to remediate on their own, see their own results, celebrate their successes right there.
I think it's easier for me to do things like online, like it captures my attention better than like doing it in books.
it's just made it easy. It is. It's made it easy, and the kids like it.
There are a lot of pictures. Sometimes it can be really funny, and some stories are make-believe.
I would never have believed that we would be a school that would be fully, implementing technology in every classroom. So we did it, and it's due to McGraw-Hill.
Some problems are tough. Reaching your customers shouldn't be. Blue Wave and Comcast have the creative edge to make you stand out from the crowd and connect with your customers. Whether you need a commercial for television, video for your website, or a custom-made website, we are the easy solution for every advertising problem.
I'm Jenna Dewan Tatum.
I'm Julia Ormond.
I'm Machen Amick. And I'm Rachel Boston.
Every 2 minutes, a woman is diagnosed with breast cancer.
Breast cancer will claim over 39,000 lives this year. But that won't be me. Or me.
I won't let that be me.
The end of breast cancer starts with me.
And you.
And you.
And you.
Go to mylifetime.com to get informed and involved.
Brought to you by Cruise Subaru of Charleston. You've got a friend in the car business.
And welcome back, everyone, to CCSD Today. Still over at Laing Middle School in Mount Pleasant, and we're now at the Fab Lab, and we're here with Sydney and Tyler. And first of all, Sydney, talk about the excitement of having a Fab Lab at your school.
It lets you use your imagination and be creative with everything that you get to do.
All right, so that's pretty cool. Imagination, creative. I would imagine for a middle schooler, that's so important. Now, I know you, Tyler, you were telling me you actually get a chance to build apps and do a bunch of cool things. Talk a little bit about that.
Well, we get to just create it on like a keynote on our iPads and like make a prototype, and we present it in front of the entrepreneur class, and it's really fun, yeah.
All right, so as you can see, some budding entrepreneurs, a chance to maybe do something that will really, really, really take off. So without further ado, let's go inside the Fab Lab and take a look. All right, we're inside the Fab Lab. We're going to start with the 3D printer, and you're going to explain a little bit about this machine and what all it does.
Well, there's this filament, which is plastic, and you insert it in the back of the 3D printer. And there's this website called Thingiverse that you go to, and you look up anything you want to make, and you download it onto this SD card right here, and you insert it in 3D printer, and you can make anything. We made a hand that took, I think it was 22 hours, and it depends on how big it is, and like it depends on how big it is, so then that's how long.
So obviously the bigger the project, the longer it takes.
Yeah, okay. Sometimes.
All right, so what we're gonna do is we'll take a look at the rest of the lab, and maybe when we come back, maybe you can put something together. If you can, start the process, and we'll check and see what you guys have after that. All right, so we're gonna continue here in the Fab Lab, and wow, we're at the computer-controlled mill. Looks like a pretty interesting machine here. Now, explain to us what this machine does.
This is the ShopBot, and it cuts wood, plastic, and aluminum, and it cut this sign right here, and the laser printer did this, but it cut this whole sign, and I could run it for you.
Okay, absolutely. Show us how it works. Now, I guess I need to put on these headphones. What is this machine doing right now?
It's printing a Laing sign. It's printing the eye.
Okay. So let's take a look at this product as we see it in action. All right, so we're going to continue our look at the Fab Lab, and we're over here at the laser cutter machine, and looks like some pretty unique things going on over here. Explain to us what the laser cutter does.
Okay, so there's an app on the computer called Corel Draw, and you can basically design whatever you want to put on, whatever you're like engraving or cutting, and then you save it to this, and that basically tells the laser what to do, and we were cutting cups like this for our dedication today, and we have to start off spraying it with spray that is specifically made for this, and we have to do that because if we didn't, it wouldn't create this color, and it would just be like scratching it like this, and so we could have this like any color we wanted to, and once we're done like with that, we just wash it off and it's fine.
Oh, okay, so it starts out looking like this, what we have in the machine, and then as you mentioned here, the computer, you design the graphic and the logo, whatever you want on the cup here. And then of course from that process, so it starts out looking as this. You talked about spraying and not wanting it to scratch. Very important, because without that, the product would not be nearly as nice.
Yes.
All right, so then the final product would actually come out looking like that. Now of course today was the dedication, so a good job by the students here, obviously making their own memories, obviously here with the laser cutter machine. So outstanding job. Now we would show you how this actually works, but it is very loud. I understand the machine, so we won't do that, but just trust us. It starts out looking like this when the process is started, basically with the paint on it to alleviate the scratching. But it's all said and done. And you said normally, just like anything else, the bigger, the more complex, the longer it takes, it'll come out looking like this, as you can see. So very nicely done here in the Fab Lab at Laing. So we're gonna move from the laser cutter over to the digital cutter. And it looks like we have some laminating of sort going on here. Now explain to us the digital cutter.
So it's, you put the paper on or whatever you're printing, and there's like a razor thing in there, and it moves along that, and you do a program in Silhouette Studios, and then you load it on like this.
Now very unique, as you can see, she actually has CCSD today as the logo or the lettering text on the computer screen. So obviously this student is very smart, a big fan of CCSD today, and she's going to show us if she had to make a CCSD feature here. We're going to see what it looks like. You said these processes is very quick, not as long as obviously the laser cutter.
Yeah, probably like a minute or two.
As you can see, we have our final product, our CCSD Today sign made here at Laing Middle School in the Fab Lab. Looks like our 3D printer is still in use, so let's just kind of take a look at our project. It's not completed yet, but as you can see, already beginning to take form into what we are trying to make. So as we can see the blue there, and again, just very, very interesting that middle schoolers now here at Laing Middle School have this capability to make these type of projects.
I'm Jenna Dewan Tatum.
I'm Julia Ormond.
I'm Machen Amick. And I'm Rachel Boston.
Every 2 minutes, a woman is diagnosed with breast cancer.
Breast cancer will claim over 39,000 lives this year, but that won't be me or me.
I won't let that be me.
The end of breast cancer starts with me.
And you.
And you.
And you.
Go to mylifetime.com to get informed and involved.
Locally sponsored by Ford. Ford is in the race for the cure.
The law firm of Young Clement Rivers has been serving the Charleston Low Country since 1968. All of the lawyers of Young Clement Rivers are proud to be partners with the Charleston County School District. We're convinced that the hard work of the school district employees and staff prepares our young people to face the challenges of the future. We look forward to continuing our partnership and in helping the school district to meet its standard of excellence.
Welcome back everyone to CCSD Today. Well, October 20th was a very special day for Laing Middle School as the school was dedicated. Let's take a look at some of the highlights from the dedication ceremony.
6 years ago, we began this journey by moving into Wando South. Although it seemed as Wando South might be renamed Laing Middle School, I think we can all agree that this new building was well worth the wait. We are so proud of our new state-of-the-art facility. Thank you for your support and for being here to celebrate this special occasion.
As Laing embarks on our 150th anniversary of this school, it's really truly only fitting that we open this state-of-the-art facility during the celebratory year. You know, Laing's foundation is deeply rooted into the fabric of the Mount Pleasant community. From its humble beginnings in small schoolhouses and churches in the old village, to the move to the school on Highway 17, and most recently, us being in the old Wando. Laing's educational experience has had an impact on thousands and thousands of students. Laing began by, if you don't know, Laing began by a young Quaker nurse who came down and started the school in January of 1866. She had a vision and a creative spirit to create a better society by opening a school for African Americans children after the Civil War. It was that same spirit that Laing continued over 100 years during terms of time of segregation. It was that vision and our tenacious faculty that has transformed Laing into the top 10 STEM school in the nation. So look at us where we are now, the top 3 middle school. And finally, that spirit and vision helped create this state-of-the-art facility that we are in today.
I had the opportunity last week to meet with a group who is working on the celebration for January 2016 for the 150th celebration of this school in this Sweetgrass campus, in this Sweetgrass community, and some of them are here in the audience today. And there's a 90-year-old alumni who will be in attendance next year. And I'll have to say, I also am a proud attendee of Laing in the 8th grade. So I am also a product of this fine school system.
Today is a celebration of this breathtaking facility, but it's also a celebration of community, of unity, of purpose and promise, of everything that is the best in America.
To properly guide and direct the youth of our community to a full concept of life, mentally, spiritually, and physically.
We dedicate this school
for the understanding of the necessity to live in peace and to train our youth in the importance of mutual acceptance.
We dedicate this school
to the development of the whole person, the broadening of knowledge, the development of skills, the enrichment of personality and character.
We dedicate this school to this cause, and we will strive to be worthy examples for our children to follow.
To the training of citizenship that will lead to safe, clean, and wholesome community life, enriched by service and acquaintance with one's fellow man.
We dedicate this building and pledge ourselves to cooperate with the school officials to the realization of this goal.
To realize that each student is different in ability and skills, to accept the fact that there are varied ethical and moral backgrounds to present truth to the student, thus permitting them to select degrees of development they so desire in all walks of life.
We dedicate this school. Together, each one of us is different.
you guys doing this morning? I told you. This morning is an awesome morning. It's beautiful. The ceremony is beautiful. The orchestra was fantastic, and the chorus was fantastic as well. As I spoke to you a couple of weeks ago, ladies and gentlemen, I told you that education is about life learning, and you're going to learn every day. This is a start. If you do it now, it'll be easy in the future. So, on behalf of the faculty, the staff, and the awesome students here at Laing Middle School, we want to thank you for coming out this morning. Captain, how you doing there, sir? You all right? You're looking spiffy, tan as well. Good to go. But anyway, we want to thank you for coming out, and we want you to tour the school. It's a fantastic place. Scholars, you have what you need. You have a fantastic building. You have a wonderful staff. Get it done.
Here's a question for you. What does this look like? It may look like a blank screen, but it's really an opportunity for you to reach your customers. With a great television commercial, video for your website, or website design, Comcast and Blue Wave Productions can create the right message to get you noticed. Call today and take the opportunity to make your business stand out from the crowd.
Welcome back, everyone. Well, we hope you enjoyed our look at Laing Middle School over in Mount Pleasant. As you can see and as you saw, a very special place for learning over in Mount Pleasant. So a special thank you to the staff, the teachers, the administrators, everyone for making us feel so welcome as they showed off their brand new school. So that's it from here at Laing Middle School. We'll see you next week.